What's good, y'all? I am back in the action, and I'm here to make this Q&A video like I promised. So I basically haven't been uploading lately because my friend Zoe was basically doing sessions, and everybody on my YouTube channel is going back to school and doing this and that. So I had to basically wait until I get my new thumbnails. It took a week, but thanks Zoe. You can go follow him on his channel, and I'll leave a link down below. Now let's kick off this Q&A video. Let's get it! The first question from Astro says, was it for the plot reasons that Mio couldn't revive Shido? Like, that's a bit of a hard question since I've been reading back to volume 15 to volume 17, and the mess and somewhat of the power scaling is confusing a bit in the light novels, and I have to basically reread and go check back since there is this thing called Ryoko, which is a power system used in daily life, somewhat like a bit of Hunter x Hunter and a mix of Bleach. So it's mainly that it was kind of a plot device in a sense, but if your Ryoko energy is higher or you have a strong vitality, you could survive. So if that answers your question, I'm up for anything. You can comment down below or comment on my Twitter so you can have a talk with me. So the next question is from Nova Anime. It states, which spirits do you favor the most? Well, that's kind of tricky since I have a lot of favorites, and it's really hard for me to just pick which one since it's kind of difficult. I mainly love my togas, my origamis, and my kuromis, if you know what I'm saying. But out of the two characters, I will basically choose Kurumi or at least Nasumi, since Nasumi can transform into any waifu you want. So that's a plus. And the fact that Kurumi is straight up bae if you read the light novels, and I heard some things of Data Bullet since her entire character arc is being revolved around. So my choice will be Nasumi. So thanks Nova for asking me this question. Goku Uzumaki states in my questions, favorite scene from Dragon Ball? Favorite Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist? Well, for favorite Dragon Ball scene is basically Gohan turning Super Saiyan, since even as an adult, and I was watching this during the time when it was on Toonami when I was a kid, that scene where SSJ Gohan fighting Cell and releasing his anger basically was built up. It was like the next Jesus, the next generation, since I was hyped and I was crying for Gohan at that moment. It was so powerful to see Gohan become this powerful character while learning all of the struggles. For my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist, that's kind of hard since I'm not a fan of the modern Yu-Gi-Oh series that much. For old school Yu-Gi-Oh like Takahashi series, I like Actem, Judai, and Yusei since they're the most metaphorical and philosophical protagonists out of the series, and basically are somewhat the most human and morally gray characters. Since I'm going to leave Yusei off of this since he's my favorite protagonist and I don't want that to cloud my head. But for favorite protagonist, it would be Actem or Judai, since Actem kind of reminds me a bit of Goku, but with the kingship and hubristic morality going on in the manga while having cool personality and relationships. For my second favorite protagonist is Judai, mainly because he kind of reminds me of Boruto, but a Boruto done right situation with the second generation, and that's the fact that he had to become a hero and then fall from a villain and then regain balance, since Judai was basically the best character in GX, and he is my favorite protagonist next to Yusei. With Yusei, even as an adult, he kind of basically, I'm a bit biased towards Yusei since Yusei basically holds everything for me for a protagonist. A strong cast, world building, messages, themes, relationships, and final conclusion since that's what I want from everything from a straight up protagonist since Yusei kind of reminds me of some other anime characters that I have going on in my tier list since it's really hard. So thank you for asking me. What's your favorite anime that under the radar that you think more should watch? If I'm being completely honest, since I watch some anime here and there, mainly the underrated series, since I will basically choose Yuno, Hokuto no Ken, and maybe Law of Awaki since they are underrated titles and they basically have the most complex storyline in the underrated anime since Hokuto no Ken was basically what got me into fighting shonen anime and what I enjoy from it. For an anime, Law of Awaki is so underrated for a shonen series and is barely mentioned in the anime community. I would make a video dedicated to it, but right now I'm just going to read the manga and relax. So thank you for answering this question. This question is from Karame. Who's your favorite Hunter x Hunter character? What airing summer anime are you watching? So for summer anime, I'm currently watching ReZero. It's a blast and I was crying the whole way since I finished season 1 during the summer and I was basically crying on my knees saying, oh my gosh, this light novel adaptation was a masterpiece. For favorite Hunter x Hunter characters, if we're talking about top 5, it would be Shoot, Knuckle, Pito, Hisoka, and Kurapika in my opinion since they had the most development and complex storylines in the Hunter x Hunter world, if you know what I'm saying. But if that answers your questions, let me know since I would like to get a Hunter x Hunter discussion going on my YouTube. The next question is from Shadowhunt Joker. What do you think about One Piece ending in 4 to 5 years? To me, it's sad, but I get it. For One Piece, since I've been rereading the manga and slowly piecing it together, like it's sad, but every story has to come to an end in a way since Oda can't keep on pushing this train. Like he always said, you have to die for One Piece, and he literally states that. Since I'm kind of sad, but I had to come to the realization since if One Piece is going to end in 5 to 4 years, I don't want it to be a Naruto or Bleach ending to the final confrontation since One Piece has been building up and been hyped for about 20 years, 2 decades. And I want the ending to be good and satisfying for a One Piece fan like me. So thank you. This question is from Kaneki Ken. Is Shido a spirit that caused the erasure incident? So with the Miyu Takamiya situation and the entire time traveling thing, it's kind of a bit complex since Kushio was basically writing some next level face shit. Like I was confused when reading it, but I don't want to reveal or spoil anything for the anime only since I don't want to like disrespect anybody, but I don't want to spoil. I recommend reading the light novel since it's a bit more complex and there's a lot of context to it. So this question is from Red Otakuman. What got you into the Day Alive series? After graduation, I was basically during the summer got into the Day Alive series to remove myself from battle shonen anime so I can look into different genres. I got into Day Alive in the summer when I was watching ReZero and reading the light novels. I was talking to him about nothing important here. He told me and gave me light novel suggestions to read volume 1 through 15 to get a better understanding of the characters since some things the anime kinda left out, which kinda pissed me off or I can understand what they were doing, but they could have done it better in a way. So thank you for asking my question. From Taimani, CEO of Toka. Who's the strongest spirit in dead alive? I'm not gonna go over it this much in the video since I have other questions, but there's a video on Nothing's Important channel which I'm gonna link down below in the pinned comment I'm gonna leave. I will have to say Toga, Mio Takamiya, Mukuro, and Shido Isuka. I know Nothing Important is gonna say, oh come on Sakura, you can do better than this, but currently you can basically argue for either of them since Kurumi's not the strongest spirit in the light novels anymore. She's top tier, but I don't think she's like the strongest spirit character in the series since, don't tell that to the anime onlys, please. But I will do a video on that later on exploring it. So thanks. Cole Hyuga asks, what's your favorite manga? So my favorite manga is kind of hard since it's either like some minor battle shonen, shoujo, and seinen manga. Like my favorite manga in Shonen Jump is mainly One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, Shaman King, and so many others like Dragon Ball. For a romance manga, it will be Sachi no One Room or Rosario Vampire, since those are the unique series that I read and are kind of underrated in their own right. For the seinen manga, it will have to be Akame ga Kill and Berserk since I was binge reading them and I enjoyed them. It made me cry, and that if you have any other questions for me, since I have a whole bunch of other mangas to recommend and read, since I just finished reading I'm currently reading Gambler, since this is an underrated manga that nobody talks about or speaks about on YouTube or in the anime community in general. So thanks for asking the question. The next question is from Zoe Z. Zoe Z. Well, it's going to be simple. Yami or William? Who is sexy AF? Your Q&A question. I'm going to be honest. William. I'm just going to say he's my husband known for Black Clover. That's it.
I want Szechuan sauce. Where's my Szechuan sauce? I'm Pickle Rick! What beloved Dum Dum? I'm Pickle Rick! Rick! I'm Pickle Rick! Rick!
Question from Just Call Me Ichigo. So close to 300 subs. Well, yeah, I'm at 305 right now. Thanks for asking. Next question is from NeoXO. Who's your favorite Black Clover character? My favorite Black Clover character is not mainly the main characters, so it will have to be someone different. That particular two is either Zoro, Mimosa, and currently Charlotte of Blue Roses. Those are basically my favorite Black Clover characters, but for Black Clover character I would have to choose Zoro since his backstory in the manga anime made me cry and I was basically coping with it. He's basically a badass. He has a unique and relatable personality that I can come to understand, and he basically has a cool design. Thanks for asking. So next question for Sleepy Crest. He's a paid YouTuber, which you can go subscribe to him. What piece of media has impacted you the most? Rather, it be emotional or something that made you see things differently. The two things that impacted me the most, maybe four things, are movie, television, comics, video games slash visual novels, since films impacted my life, since it affected me, and even during when I was in high school phase, getting my edge on, trying to learn more about the world. I got into visual novels since I was a teen, since I didn't know what they are, and I got some recommendations for them. The thing that affected me emotionally for video games was the death of Joker, since I played the Arkham games, and that death basically drove me, and I was crying when I was playing the game. The next thing for movies is Harry's death from the Spider-Man trilogy, since Harry's death was impactful, and even as an adult, I still cry today and enjoy the Sam Raimi trilogy. For video games slash visual novels, that's kind of hard, since right now I literally read all of Heaven's Feel right now, and currently Alia's death basically put tears in my eyes. It's like next to Kira levels of sadness, and I was crying. Like every time I reread Faith or Unlimited Blade Works or even Heaven's Feel, Alia's death will always affect me and make me cry the most, since every time I get to see Ilia on screen in a Faith series, I just cry and fall down to my knees, since that death, no matter how many or different routes it is, that death is always going to affect me some type of way. For comic books in general, it'll be Ultimate Spider-Man, since that death affected me, and I'm saying, wow, that was sad. But Ilia's death is far higher and more personal, since I had to care my friend who passed away since I began high school, and it was kind of sad at the least, since I had to cope with death and the world, since it was kind of a hard thing for me, since I didn't understand a lot of concepts during the time. So thanks for asking, and I'm trying to work on my sentence structure a little bit for some visual novel games and some dissections. The next question is from Delix. My question is Sakura or Ino, character-wise? Well, that's a hard or toughy in a sense, since I don't want to get into the Sakura Ino debate, since I don't want no stands coming on my channel, since I'll have to basically pick Sakura character-wise. Even if I don't like her, she's still better written than Ino in a way thematically. I'm not a fan of Sakura Haruno that much, but she does a lot in the series, but it's sad that she's kind of treated as a joke. She is a badass, not gonna lie, but if I'm picking something kinky, it will be Ino, since her mind transfer jutsu will basically you know what I mean. Next question comes from Kakarot D Senju. Favorite anime game ever? Well, for anime games, it's a little biased. It's mainly come from the Dragon Ball series, Raging Blast, or Burst Limit, since I would never play Xenoverse, since Xenoverse, in my opinion, is kind of a shit game in my honest eyes. So the other anime games I would basically play is something different. It usually connects to visual novels, but my favorite anime game would be Fate Stay Night or Danganronpa, since those are the ones that click to me and connect with me in general. I enjoyed this question. So next, this question is from Neo. Favorite Yu-Gi-Oh moment? Also, congrats on 300, bro. Aww, thanks, bro. For a Yu-Gi-Oh moment, that's kind of hard, since I just finished watching Reigns last couple of months. It will have to be Bruno's or Ai's deaths, since those deaths were sad at the point that those were the most human characters I have seen in the Yu-Gi-Oh series and basically affected my mindset on what Yu-Gi-Oh could be. I would put like, it would be hard since I and even Bruno are my favorite characters antagonist wise in a Yu-Gi-Oh series, since their deaths were powerful, strong, and unique, that basically made Yu-Gi-Oh more mature and feel like a real show. So thanks. The next question and the last comes from Rock Lee, Power of Youth. Who is your favorite character in Naruto? And I really want to take your time on this. If you can give your take on Frieza arc versus Pain arc, which is better and why? Keep it up and you will reach the ultimate springtime of youth. Also, congrats on 300 subs. Thanks, bro. My favorite Naruto character will have to be Madara, Nagato, or Itachi, since those are the things that enjoy my time in watching and reading Naruto in general, since they are my favorite characters, and even as an adult I can understand and enjoy their adventures and character arcs, but I hated how they treated Nagato during the 4th grade ninja war. Piece of shit war. With the Frieza and Pain arc, well, it's like interchangeable. They have their ups and their downs while being fun and enjoyable. Like, when it comes to the Frieza arc, which people overlook some of the themes of Goku accepting his Saiyan heritage while allowing his history to change him a little bit as a person. Like, I can't speak about it in this arc. I'll have to say the Pain Saga thematically trumps the Frieza Saga, but I don't want to downplay neither of them, since those are both my favorite sagas in all shonen. Since Frieza Saga arc in general has some themes that many people overlook, saying Dragon Ball ain't that deep. But for now, the Pain arc, I still love the Frieza arc, even though Goku's a better protagonist in Naruto. There's a baby on that. With this video being finally done, I can finally take a break, write my scripts, and prepare for the next upcoming videos on my channel. Since this Q&A was fun and I enjoyed it, since I can finally use my normal voice. Since my sister is basically laughing at me in the background, acting like a clown, and this is basically, I enjoyed this. So, if I'll see y'all later, and let's get it!